Welcome. I'm Melissa Brace of melissabrace.com. We're doing a channeling of the sacred beings, light beings of Sedona. And I was called to do this a couple of weeks ago and have been nudged to do it in the last few weeks really strongly. A friend of mine and I got to go to California. We live in Oklahoma. And we got to go to California on a deep journey. And we got to go to the Disclosure Conference, where it has, lots of speakers and on subjects such as ascension or conspiracy theories or UFOs or secret space program things, ancient alien type show speakers. Some of them have been on Ancient Aliens or Gaia TV. So that was really cool. And while we did that, we made it an adventure. So my friend is always an adventurer and very strong in that. And I owe her cash because we drove across the country. And I've got that for her. But while we were there, we stopped in Sedona, which is one of our favorite places. And I lived there for, 3 or 4 years collectively. Twice I've lived there. And really I'm always drawn to it. It always calls me. And I love it there so much, and I miss it. So while we were there, we spent 2 nights and got some things done. It was a quick trip. I didn't get to see all of my friends and do everything I wanted to do. And certainly on this trip, I really missed out seeing my friend from Santa Barbara that I have a crush on for years. And so I'm sorry about that. But it was fast-paced. And when we got to Sedona, it was the end of our trip. So we went through California and we came back through Arizona, coming back toward Oklahoma, to the middle of the country. And so one of my favorite things about Sedona is all the energies. And when I lived there, I would drive in. I lived in the next town over. And I would drive in and I would say prayers on my way to work. And I would ask every day, I would ask God to help me, the source, light, to help me know what to do. How can I help today? And I would always talk to the sacred light beings of Sedona as I drove in. And to me, they are very tall, light, white beings. They're like inner earth beings, or possibly connected to star beings as well. And many people know there are vortexes there of energies. It's a sacred space. And people come from all over the world to feel the spiritual vibe, to have spiritual guidance, readings there, and really commune with the divinity of sacred Sedona. So Sedona, Arizona, high five, I miss you. I'll move back someday, I know it. So on our trip, we rented an Airbnb. Well, my friend did, because she's in charge of everything. And I owe her money on that one too. So got that coming. And as you know, we were exhausted by the time. This was like 8 days into our trip. And I don't sleep very well in Sedona. It's energy. It doesn't feel negative at all. It just is. I don't sleep well. So we had our night vision goggles out, watching the sky, and saw some slight UFO activity. Sedona is known for being a safe haven, safe place. We're all like a kind of a way station, like a place where you can have a hotel no matter what race or dimension you come from. So. So the people that have lived there, locals mostly, are like, yeah, oh yes, there's star beings around. And this is, well-known knowledge and just the usual. So we checked out the UFO activity and what was going on. There were some slight movements and small things that we had seen that night. And we were just exhausted. So we both went into our bedrooms of the Airbnb that we stayed in, and I could not go to sleep. I don't know if my friend went to sleep right away or not. I didn't, I don't know. So I went outside, and Sedona is also known for being very dark, like so that like there's not a lot of lights or porch lights or lamp lights around. And so I just leaned up against the wall and just prayed and became one with God in that time. And I asked for the sacred beings of Sedona to help me. And it was so big, it was so poignant and colossal for me, both nights when we were there. So I, just connected with them so well. And they were saying that they were glad to see me. And as I was saying, I'm glad to see you. I've had a hard time. This was a hard journey to get back here. I'm so grateful to be able to be in my, one of my home spaces named Sedona. And they said that they were glad to see me and that they were always welcoming and that I belonged there. And that really made my heart happy. But I just have missed it a lot. And in my own life journey and things have just, I don't know, had a rough year. Energetically, just working on energy and illness and directions and all kinds of stuff. So to be there, it felt very grounding and beautiful and also very connective, like expanding of me. So I felt like I was just big and expanded and loved and safe. So the divine beings, the sacred light beings of Sedona, were just really interactive. And on my trip, so was my mom, who has passed, and a couple of friends. And I was very quiet about it. I was just feeling really connected, where maybe in the last months I felt kind of disconnected in a way. And I think other light workers, other people are feeling a little disconnected, like not as connected as they want to be, or intuitive about themselves as they have wanted to be lately. So that was really nice. It just felt amped up times a million. It was crystal clear. And so throughout we were running around, and throughout my trip in the part in Sedona, I would see love beings and ascended masters out of the corner of my eye, and in the rock formations. There's such beauty there. And so the divine being said, I channeled a little bit both of those nights and learned a lot, and came into peace about a few things while I was there as well. Healing, clearing. I asked them to help me clear some things that I was holding on to, or things in my energy system that I didn't realize were still there, that were magnetizing rough experiences, or anger or anguish or woundedness in me, or possibly removal of attachments or whatever it was. And so we did a lot of energy work together as well. So I'm going to do a little bit of a channeling now for with the divine sacred light beings of Sedona. Even though I am not there right now. To me, there are many, and again, they are tall, white beings. And that's just the grouping of kind of celestial beings or angelic beings, is kind of what they are. And they're saying we are, now they're talking, and they're saying we are keepers, we are gatekeepers, we are kind of like the sheriff's department or justice department of this area, which is a sacred area. It has been for many long years. So the cycles are coming to pass where there's a cleansing in our area, they're saying, and they're saying that the people and that are changing and growing inside and seeing within themselves more than ever, which is again why people travel there and have retreats and time to themselves and looking within. That's one of the main things that people do in Sedona, in the beauty. Find their wholeness, healthiness, happiness. So they're kind of like gatekeepers or helpers, or not the sheriff's department in a negative way, but like the keepers of balance and keepers of truth there. And so they're saying that they would like to bring messages to all of us to say, be yourselves, and it's safe, as the energy is clearing and cleansing out pieces of us that might be unpleasant or unfun to go through. It's also helping us find our higher selves, and so that we can be sacred divine beings of earth, of Gaia, whatever words you want to use. And they're saying we're bringing a strong energy towards unity and harmony and oneness, wholeness, in our resonance. And so when people come through Sedona and out, or call the divine light beings of Sedona, and they say, you know who we are. When we call them, even if we're not there, they will come and answer. Usually, they say. And they say that being such a sacred space, sometimes for sensitive people, it's hard to reside in it all of the time or sleep in it all of the time. And they say the karmic cycles are sped up there, and they are, and I'm saying I would like some help with that. I would like some ease and grace on if I have any karmic cycles, just to smooth, easy going right now after such a really tough year, or 2 or 3 actually. And they're saying, yes, of course. We want you to know that it's not a punishment for everyone to go through things. This is you chose to be here. This is a time of great joy and interest. You have done this before. Many of you have done this before, so you come here to be a part of the process. And they are saying thank you to many of us who have really taken on different jobs. Like, for instance, we all have different jobs in the life and the world, and a lot of us have taken on jobs to help clear mass consciousness of very low, very dark, pretty grody energies and programs that run through our lives, our planet, our society every day. And so they're saying that good job, you're strong. So this message is for all of us, not just me. And they're saying that it's time to rest, as well as continue to learn how to vibrate at this higher frequencies. And each of you, many of you who are called to come live here, or come through for just a vacation, just a day, just for a moment to drive through, or having your energies and your frequencies adjusted right now by the heavens, by the light of God, because those natural divine, our divinity, our essences, our truth, our frequencies of our higher selves are anchoring in our bodies. And thus it is happening on the planet as they're cleansing this sacred space, and it's becoming more light, more beautiful as we speak. So they're anchoring in and adjusting the frequencies in Sedona to raise higher and higher. It is a place where heaven on earth exists. They're saying, not that everyone is happy, not that we do not have to do dishes there, not that we don't have challenges, but it's where you can learn and grow quickly and resonate in a really higher frequency. And they're saying it's also safe. Because of us, there are other guardians there in the Sedona area, unseen. And because of us, we it's like a free zone. It's like a safe zone. So a lot of the negatives or dark energies are not allowed in there. And again, it's like a way station. So they're saying yes. It's like a way station for possibly star beings and different races or types of people to come. Safety, know you're safe. So please carry this, they say, wherever you go. Kind of a resonance of this, of peace, of knowledge, of truth, of uplift. Wherever you go, that's your gift. And as you love to travel, the different places and different frequencies that you will resonate with and share with your frequency as well, with different spaces and places. They're saying, just know that we know that in these ascending times and awakening times, people are feeling a little bit tired, or are also changing tracks. They're saying the timelines are shifting and coming together. So in that, what that means in a way is that if there are many alternate realities or many past lives, they're all coming together in one, and they're coming together to balance out. So if you're feeling ups and downs and things like that, it could be due to our timeline shifting and balancing. So you are always welcome to ask to be put, aligned in your highest good timeline. And if you feel like everything's going awry, and everything is just challenging, you can ask some of the energies to be swept away from you, and you be realigned. And you can do it 100 times a day, or once a week, or once a year, or whatever you want. But you can ask to be realigned in your highest good timeline and divine plan, highest good divine plan blueprint. And that can help you in many ways. And you're welcome to call us at any time and ask us for assistance. We are not exactly angels. We are light beings of high frequency here, and we often work with angels and archangels, and there's a lot going on here. There's a lot, like it's almost like an invisible peace station, a place where we like there's different cities, like big cities that are known for things like Washington, D.C. So if there's anything political going on, we should go to Washington, D.C., right? So there's anything creative and movie star things, it's either going to be like Los Angeles or New York, right? So, well, they go different places, but the main ones are there. And so Sedona is like a main zone or space for ascension, aligning spiritual, multidimensional things. And so you can call upon that energy if you want help. They work together. We're bringing this world into ascending and helping the earth, as we are one of the main, like, it's almost like metropolises of way stations for this ascension time. They want you to know that they send out great peace to your dreams, and that means in your sleep dreams, and send greetings to the world. And that many of you starseeds, light workers, crystalline children, rainbow kids, indigo children, whatever words that you humans need to use to define, just know that you are being called in these higher frequencies. It's almost like a government that's unseen, that's not the shadow government, but the light government. And these exist in our higher selves and realms, and they're saying that each one of you will imbue today with a gift of great light and love to help on your journey in your next parts of your awakenings and awarenesses, your relationships, and your like work or jobs or career in the world. And it doesn't mean that you have to have a solid, like a job or a career, just what you do in the world, how you express, how you connect. And they're saying there's a big shift coming that we won't miss. It'll be unmistakable that to most of us who are on, who care about awareness at least, are trying to continue on our ascension paths or awakening or awareness paths, spiritual paths. They're wanting to say that the spiritual things, spirituality is changing a little bit. And there will be some science coming in. I got a message earlier today about that. Science and spirit kind of lifting us up. We'll learn more. And we are working collectively together our higher selves to clear away any dark energies or lower energies that have been plaguing humanity for a very long time. But spirituality is changing, is what they're saying, and so we would like to bring you gifts of the newness in that, the newness, spiritual paths, newness. And they're saying that like somebody, the heavens hit a light switch or hit a switch where many people are awakening more and more each day. All of us are awakening more and more each day to our purposes and to kind of help humanity serve each other, serve God. And so people are going to have some different ideas and all of a sudden go, yes, I should live in Sedona, or wow, I should open up a restaurant, and you didn't realize that was one of your passions, or to feed people and nourish people, or are going to find new members of Soul Tribe as some of the old collective Soul Tribe, soul groupings are rinsing away, finishing up their soul contracts together. And as are we, they're saying, finishing up soul contracts in different ways with people, groups, directions. And sometimes it will clear our windshields, and we will see how we much more want to do certain paths or directions or passions more than we realized. Some we thought were over and done. Sometimes people, human connections, family connections will be refreshed and revitalized, or we will find also new friends, family, loved ones that we'll be surprised about, that there's a call going out to all of our true soul families and star families, if you like that kind of thing, to connect with. So that they're saying that they're helping with this and the sheer force of the movement of the energy. So all of us are being called, and they are willing to help. They're saying that be aware of who or what is in your energy, and do ask for protective fields around you, because at the end of the day, the world is not perfect, or the balance is not perfect yet. So there's a need for not protection like you should be scared, but protective energy, as well as doing some clearing on some of our layers. That could just be in the form of letting go, learning how to eat better, all the way down to, matrix technology, energy work, which is, I've been involved in for many years. They're saying many of you will be greeted, and in your dreams or in your next weeks and months, really come face to face with a part of your higher selves. So you could see a light being, an angelic being, kind of an extraterrestrial being of some sort, and they will introduce themselves as you. You will know who they are, just by resonance. You will, even if it's strange and peculiar, and you go, "What's going on?" And you can ask them, say, "Who are you?" and prove it, and they will. But you will know it's a piece of you, a piece of your knowledge, and a piece of your truth. So they're excited for this next phase, like we're coming into a next phase, because we're coming into a more free time, freedom and clarity. So as we finish up this year of 2019 and we go into 2020 and into 2021, we will find deep connections in our intuitions and psychic abilities and healing and advancement in our thinking, really just amped up. So be good to the earth and be kind to one another and love one another, and recognize the lights in each other. And they just wanted to say hello. They're very mellow and quiet, so when they're saying it wasn't exactly what we're saying, we didn't want to say hello. We just were saying, since you channel us well, to go ahead and just, just do a little tidbit of kind of what's going on in the world, and send greetings to all the light workers and loved ones and soul tribe and soul family all over the world. Greeting and hello, and know that they bring you a little gift of light, and it will be integrated into you if you choose to receive that. Your higher self, your soul will know, and it will be wisdom and a little bit of magic and a little bit of truth that will enhance your abilities and your direction. So your spiritual journey will be embraced by these gifts, the connection, the nod, the greetings from the sacred divine light beings of Sedona. And you'll receive a gift of energetic quality. And many of you, we're going to help touch and remind you that you deserve to be loved. That you're not isolate here, so touching your shoulders a little bit and reminding you deserve to be loved. One of them saying, remember there is one God, one, and that God is one, universal, one, unity, uno, one, and that resides in each one of you. They send great blessings and thanks. As our awareness opens, we will just be able to understand these things, and more and more over the years, our children will be able to understand them more, our grandchildren. And as we come into the times where it's a world of connection, and someone asked me the other day in a reading, I think I mentioned Sedona, and they had known I lived in Sedona for years, and they said, is the veil thin in Sedona? And I said, the veil is thin everywhere. It's just time. It just is so. But in a way, it's such a deeply connected place that, yes, the veil is thinner in Sedona area. But they want to say that it doesn't, you don't have to come to Sedona. You can ask for the energy to surround you and help you grow and learn and nurture, and you can just do it for 5 minutes or try it. And they're saying again, we're bring gifts and watch as unity. We come into one more unity consciousness. We'll all be kind of like heaven on earth, where the heavenly beings are kind of a collective consciousness of love. That's what's in store for us as well. So over the next years and maybe generations, it could be next week, I don't know. But it seems like we have a lot of work to do. So they will help, and watch as your spiritual gifts unfold. And remember, it's a divine right for you all to know, have knowing inside and connection. So they send great love and greetings, and they're working on the uplift, and we'll be calling many of you to go visit in the next years, days, weeks, months, lifetimes. And they're stepping back. I hope there was some information in that. That was just a fun conversation to me. When I was there and couldn't sleep at night, went outside just to stand. I just stood there and leaned up against like a brick wall. It was a half wall. So I would put my elbows on there and lean up, and I just watched the sky. One of my favorite things to do there is just stargaze. And yeah, that's what I did. And there was a lot of channeling going on, lots of information coming in. So I don't even remember all of it. It was so vast and so much. When I lived there, when I lived in Sedona, I've lived in a few different places. And when I lived in Sedona, I had more visitors than ever. So I had family. It was so awesome to see family and friends come in and get to show them around a little bit and spend some time with them in Sedona. So I had some friends come in, and they came over to my house in the evening. It was probably like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. And we were on my back porch, which was big, and my back porch overlooked a wash, so that's a place where the water comes in, and it's kind of like a crusty field without, you know, a lot of vegetation. Pardon me. My sinuses and stuff move when I channel. Got my kombucha. So my friends and I were on the back porch. It was, you know, again, pretty dark outside. It was wonderful. It was perfect weather, paradise weather. Checking out the stars, and my friend, she says, "Did you see that?" And her eyes got really big. And I said, "What?" I didn't see anything. And she said, "I think I saw a big, tall white thing run by." And she wasn't that hysterical, but she was, you know, kind of startled. And I said, "Oh, wait, okay. Well, yes. Okay, that happens sometimes." That was, to me, that's an inner earth being. There are different types of beings there. So she said, "That was real, or am I just going crazy? Or I drink a little bit at dinner, or what? What's going on?" I said, "No, I've seen them. They move really quickly. They don't necessarily pay attention to us. But those are some of the sacred light beings of Sedona." And that was fun. She goes, "Cool. Okay. Awesome. Cool." I thank you, and I thank you for letting me tell the story, and thank you for all the support, and I hope this was fun.